Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to show you some exercises using one and only one dumbbell. Even if you have a pair at home or you have access to a bunch of dumbbells at the gym, using one could just make it fun, a little bit more interesting, especially if you've been working out for a long time or I don't know, maybe you just don't like exercise. Well, doing one dumbbell at a time could let you get a little creative and have a little bit of fun with it. So let me show you how to do a few of these exercises. Alright, so I got my dumbbell. It's a 15-pound dumbbell. So I'm using a weight that's fairly challenging for some of these exercises. You typically don't want to use something that's too easy because obviously you won't benefit from it as much. And you don't want something too difficult because you have to have multiple dumbbells because some body parts are smaller and weaker than others. So hopefully that's kind of self-explanatory. So once again, I'm using my 15-pound dumbbell. The first exercise I'm going to do is my wide stance. Arms in front. So I'm going to go down as far as I feel comfortable, and similar to a kettlebell swing, I'm going to come up using mostly my legs to thrust my arm up and then finish with the shoulder press. So it's down and up. Now typically for this one you could do 10 to 15 per side, switch, same thing on the other side. Or you could go for time, 30 seconds to a minute. It basically depends on how you want to work out, whether you want to do for strength or for endurance, back-to-back exercises. So I'll let you be the judge of that, or if you have questions, ask me in the comment box below and I could kind of tailor it more to what your current fitness level and goals are. Okay, like I said, if you have any questions about that first one, just feel free to ask. On this next one, it's a bicep curl, just the basic, or you could do what's called a hammer curl. And the hammer curl is when you have your palm facing your body and your thumb is going up towards the ceiling as you curl. So you're going to keep the shoulder to the elbow stationary and then do the bicep curl. But it's going to work a different part of your bicep, different part of the forearm. However, if you rotate so the palm is facing forward, then you could curl up and down, working that bicep muscle. Now, of course, there are variations when you do the bicep curl. You can rotate so your pinky goes outward away from the body slightly, palm face up, or at a slight angle, roughly 45 degrees inside. How you curl and how you use the dumbbell for bicep curls will basically be dependent on not necessarily how you want the peak of the bicep to react, but your current wrist health. I have a number of clients with healthy wrists. I have a number with unhealthy wrists, so they could still do bicep curl, but I have to modify it for them depending on their wrist health. Alright, so that was the front of the arm. We did a little bit of the shoulders. Now we're going to do the back of the arm. So on this one, you could use the back of a chair for support if you need to, or stagger your stance. Put one hand on your knee, elbow up high. Once again, from shoulder to elbow, you don't want to move, and then you extend backward, doing a tricep kickback. Now, some people like to rotate so their palm is up. Once again, I don't particularly like that because, well, for me personally, my wrist, it doesn't feel good when I do that. So listen to your body. If it hurts, don't do it. If it feels fine, you might be activating more tricep muscle doing it that way. But a tricep kickback is a very good tricep exercise. So if you do it properly with the right form, you're going to hit all three of the muscle bellies in the tricep doing that, and it works the arm really well. Alright, so this next one is a variation. Well, technically it's not a variation. It's called a goblet squat. However, technically a goblet squat is using a kettlebell. This is not a kettlebell. So there's a couple of ways you could do this. So one way is to hold each part of the dumbbell up here, close to the body, or some people prefer to grip one end of the dumbbell, still keeping it high up on the chest, close to the body. That's to help raise the center of gravity. So when you do the squat, it's actually going to activate more of the muscles in the core to prevent swing. Because you don't always have to do old-fashioned crunches and things like that to hit the abs. Your abs and the back, which is also part of the core, will still get worked. So once again, it's just personal preference. The key is to get your butt down as far as you can, but not having the knees buckle forward. That's really bad for the knees. And it's, you could end up losing your balance and falling. Some of you might have really good balance, others may not have so good a balance. So however you feel like holding it, that's up to you. It's more of a personal preference. Down as far as you feel comfortable, straight up. So the tempo is like a 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up. Once again, 10 to 15 repetitions is a good amount. You could do several sets, or like I said, you could do each one of these sets of exercises back to back to back, and then rest, and then try to do it again, rest, and do it again. So once again, it's up to you, or if you have any questions, don't forget, ask in the comment box below, and I'll do my best to answer those questions. Okay, now it's time to hit the chest. Not literally hit your chest, but work the pectoral muscle. So on this one, I'm going to use my offhand to touch and feel the pec muscle and have that mind-body connection as I come up, squeeze that pec muscle, and back down. So the way I'm doing that, I have a slight angle with my hand, slight bend in the elbow, coming up and crossing the center line. Okay, I could go straight forward a little bit. It might work the pec some, but it's using a lot of my anterior deltoid here, the front part of the shoulder, and a lot more bicep activation. Once again, it's not the end of the world, but if I want to use my pec muscle on this one, I need to use my pec muscle. So I come up, squeeze that muscle, down slowly. So the same tempo, because it's not a speed thing, except for you do want to go slowly on this. It's 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down. Really focusing on that pec muscle flexing. And if you don't feel it flexing, you're probably using too much of your arm or shoulder to help stabilize or just to get the weight up. So the dumbbell could be potentially too heavy for you. Or just so light that you just don't feel anything and it's not a challenge. But you really want to come up across the body. And what I'm also doing, I'm staggering my stance some so it doesn't put too much pressure on my back. Same thing other side, doesn't matter which foot's in front. Feeling that muscle coming up and down. Like all the other exercises, as you lift a weight, that's when you want to exhale, breathe in on the way down. Breathe out, breathe in. And that's one way to hit the pec muscle. Okay, on this one, I'm going to show you a back exercise. However, the dumbbell may not be heavy enough for a bent over row. So on this one, you could use your hand on your leg, arm relaxed, pull the elbow straight up. Once again, try not to use momentum or swing, and pull that elbow up. Good for the lat muscle. If your weight's not heavy enough, what you can do is stay in that same position, hold the dumbbell each side with one hand, and what you're going to do on this one is you're going to come up, keeping that core engaged. Now this is going to work the rear delts, the trapezius, and some of the lat muscle, which will pre-fatigue those muscles. So you could do a set of these, and then without rest, immediately go into the dumbbell row. And then do the same thing on the other side. Very good for the back and good for the lats, which of course is a back muscle. Alright, for this one I'm going to sit down because I'm doing the Russian twist. So what I want to do is have each part of the dumbbell in each hand, keeping it close to my chest and body. Okay? So what I want to do is lean back slightly, and I'm not just moving my arms, because although that'll work your core, you want to move the shoulders. So the key is not to go too quickly because you don't want to hurt your lower back. You turn, come across the body, and turn. So once again, I'm not doing a whole lot of arm movement here. It's my torso. So that way my abs can work without putting too much torque on my lower spine. So you still want to focus probably 10 to 15 per side. But once again, that's just a guideline, because it's always better to get 10 to 15 good ones where you really feel it in your core compared to doing 100 of them. Yeah, so you did 100, but they suck. So you don't benefit from doing 100 crappy ones. So focus on quality over the quantity, and that's much better for your abs, well, and every other body part too. Alright, so hopefully that was helpful. If so, don't forget to like and comment in the box below, especially the likes. They help out the video and the channel, and I appreciate it. So once again, Hopefully this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.